What is going on, y'all? It is Fargassier. Hopefully, you're having a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland, friends. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 camps that got submitted to our Discord. If you have builds that you'd like to submit, or you're just a fan of gaming, make sure to check the description out below. We'll have a link to our Discord. Also, sorry for the voice and the quickness of the video. I am trying to get this done through running a fever and not feeling the best. So, y'all sit back, relax, and let's talk about these builds. Coming in at the number 5 spot this week, we have EZ with their Beaver Station, and this is such a great location to build at, and what a great theme to pair this location with in the Cranberry Bog. I really love the immersion inside of this camp, and I don't know about you, but it really makes me feel like I'm about to try and ford a river and try to make my way to Oregon. Designs like this are simple in design, but go far with the story that they can tell when fully fleshed out. This is something that I could really see Bethesda developing into a location in a future expansion, because it feels like it could really be an outpost for travelers to stop at on their journey throughout the wasteland. Amazing job, bud. And now coming in at 4th place this week, we have Atomic Punk with their Soft Shell Shack, and this is a great themed build in a perfect location if you're about to start a Mirelurking business like Forrest Gump. And I gotta wonder, how many ways is there a way to cook Mirelurk? I mean, there was a lot of ways to cook shrimp, so I guess there's a lot of ways to cook a Mirelurk. But I really like what they did with the shipping container and the decorations around this camp. I mean, that shipping container, you can barely even tell that it's there, and the choices in decorations really fit the theme of this build, and it's a very immersive build. And I really do love the fact that how this fits in with the Ohio River adventure. It could be like a subsidiary to that location, but seriously, bud, amazing job. The team absolutely loved this build. Keep up the great work. And in number 3 this week, we have Lady J with their Country Charm Barn, and this is such a well-done farm type camp, and it really does feel immersive. And as the team was talking, Nux said how they feel that this could be a pre-existing location, and I really do agree. I wound up watching this a few times and admire their choices in the decorations, and really do love the feel of this camp. As someone who has spent plenty of time around a barn on a farm, I think they did a great job turning this camp into a little cozy place out there in the wasteland, and I absolutely would love to visit this great and wonderful job at this camp, bud. In number 2, we have Napcakes with their Garden Getaway, and this is such a well-designed cottage in the wasteland, and this camp really blew me away on how much work they put into this build. I really think that folks should take the time to go watch this for themselves, because after a few watches, I am still finding stuff that I didn't notice on the first few watches. This camp looks amazing from the exterior to the interior, and I love the choices that they made in putting this build together. I really do love that Bethesda gave us these chessboards, and they seem to have become a staple in builds around the wasteland. Amazing job with the decorations. The team loved the custom fireplace that Nab designed, and it's things like this, in my eyes, that sets this build to such a high caliber. Seriously, bud, amazing job. I would love to come visit this out there in the wasteland. And now, before we get in here and tell you about the honorable mentions in the number one spot, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone who entered this week. And as you can see, we had 14 entries, and it really means the world to the team and I that y'all are helping keep the top 5 series alive and kicking. And to those that submitted this week and didn't place, y'all did an amazing job and should really keep up the great work. The team and I love going through the submissions and admiring the hard work that y'all are putting into these builds. And speaking of the team, I want to give a huge shout out to the team: Moonlight Cowboy, Silver Bunny, Nux, Stabby, and Yeah Bear for doing so much with the top 5 series and also helping be pillars in the Fallout 76 building community. And now our first honorable mention this week is Lady H with their Incantation Emporium, and this camp is really well put together and honestly makes me think of someone that graduated from the College of Winterhold and set up shop in the Wasteland to do some deals and get their foot established as a wizard out there in the Wasteland. I really like the choices that they did with this camp for their decorations from the interior and the exterior. Amazing job, bud, and keep up the great work. Next up with our honorable mentions is Busting My Ashley with their all but abandoned build, and this is a very spooky camp and it's really well designed, and I love that they chose October to show this camp off. This is a really well done camp from the interior to the exterior. They did some great choices with decorating, and this camp is one that I would visit out there on my journey in the Wasteland. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've seen Cabin in the Woods and I would hate to touch anything at this place because I think we've all seen Cabin in the Woods and know what might happen if we pick up the wrong object at this camp. But Ashley, seriously, amazing job, bud. This is such a well-designed camp. And now, with the judges not being able to enter into the competition each and every single week with the top 5, we are giving them a chance to show off some of their builds, and this week's camp spotlight from the judges comes from Moonlight Cowboy with their Market Street Loft. And I really do love when folks utilize and build with a pre-existing location, and this is such a well-designed camp. The interior is so well decorated, and I love the use of conduits to become handrails. There are some great choices with decorating this camp. Keep up the great and amazing work, Moon, and thank you so much for everything you do with the top 5. And also, in the description, they say that a tutorial is coming for this one, so I'm excited to see how they actually built this one. And now, coming in at the number 1 spot this week, we have the Flailing Fox with their modern beach house, as well as a tutorial at the tail end of their video if you are looking to design this camp for yourself. And I really do love to see tutorials where builders are showing off the methods that they used in designing the camp, especially if you want to make this one for yourself and make it your own. And this week has been filled with camps that could be pre-existing locations in the Wasteland, and I would love to see something like this out there in the Wasteland. The choice in camp location was a great pick when designing this camp. This camp really does remind me of some of the beach houses that I have stayed in, and really love what they did with the design and the natural lighting throughout this build. Seriously, Fox, this is such a great design. Keep up the amazing work, and thank you so much for putting so much time and effort into your build. Seriously, enjoy the number 1 spot this week. You definitely deserved it. Seriously, bud, amazing camp. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out, and let us know in the comments section below what your favorite build for this week is. Seriously, to the channel members, thank you so much for donating and becoming members every single month. You never have to do any of that stuff. We try to keep everything as free as possible on this channel, but seriously, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace. Love ya.